Hey everybody, welcome to week 12 of CIT 12. Hopefully you had a great spring break, enjoyable Easter if you're the type to celebrate Easter, and for everybody, happy opening day for Major League Baseball. This is the opening week for Major League Baseball, so I know I, for one, will be glad to see Madison Bumgarner pitch against Arizona this Monday. Yeah, you should all watch. Now, just as a reminder, spring break did not exist in our calendar, and that means that you still have access to all of your week 11 assignments. This is your 1 week late period for week 11, which is just the Excel practical. So you still have until Sunday to finish the Excel practical. Make sure you get that finished and submitted before the Sunday deadline. But for those of you who are already done with that, we're moving on to new material this week. So we're going to be looking at Chapter 7 this week. It's all about networks. Computers, you know, at this point, the major use for a computer is to connect to other computers. And that's really kind of what everybody does with computers nowadays. I think I tell a story in the lecture this week that, you know, if I remove the internet access from a computer lab on campus, students just look at those computers like they're completely useless. I mean, when you think about how you use a computer, you really use it as a communications device to talk digitally with other computers. You know, to go onto Amazon, to watch videos on YouTube, to send email. It's all about the connections between computers, not about the computer itself. And so this week we're talking about networking. Networking is a huge topic. It's not something that we can cover at all. This class is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so this week reflects that. But there's going to be a little bit of a taste for networking. One of the nice things about networking is that it leads almost directly into a potential career. In fact, I teach some networking classes, and my students can go on and get jobs right here in Fresno doing networking. Pretty much any company that has more than 20, 25 employees is going to have somebody who handles the network. Or they're going to hire a company to come in and do networking stuff for them. There are networking jobs all over. Pretty much in any industry you want to work in, there are networking people who work in those industries, whether it's the entertainment industry, medicine at hospitals, education, when it comes to schools and school districts. All of these employers hire IT people. And so lots of jobs, lots of opportunities. And if it's something you're considering, I definitely would urge you to learn more than just what's in Chapter 7. Maybe consider taking some classes in a networking program. And so for Chapter 7, we have our usual accompaniment of activities. Make sure you read the chapter, check out the lecture video in the Week 12 folder, and then there's a quiz on Chapter 7, so make sure you get in and take care of that sometime this week. Now, our discussion for this week actually has two parts, and that's partly because the first part is really short. But I wanted you to get an experience and see something that you might not be able to see this way normally. The first part is looking at the physical connections on the internet. So how are machines connected to one another? And there's a tool called Visual Traceroute. It's on a site called yougetsignal.com. There's a whole video showing you how to use it. It's very quick, but what you do is you just go to the site, you click on the tool, then you type in a website, let's say wikipedia.org, and you can actually see, using Traceroute, which is a program that kind of looks at where all the packets go. You don't connect to Wikipedia directly. Your computer connects with another computer, which connects with another computer, which connects with another computer. In reality, these are switches that sort of guide your path along the internet. And so you can actually see the physical connections between your computer and the servers at wikipedia.org, or whatever site you choose. And so you type in the site, and you can actually see on a Google map the lines showing you where your packets went in order to get to their final destination. And one of the things that you'll find out fairly quickly is that the internet is not set up the way you think it should be. Sometimes for packets to get from here to San Francisco, they travel through Europe. And that's just because the way the internet works. If there's a little bit of traffic on one line, you go a different direction. And sometimes the fastest lines are the big fiber cables that we've got moving between one big place and another big place, even though those places may be completely out of the way geographically. And so it's not uncommon to go to Europe or to go to Canada just to get to the Bay Area or to LA. Your packets will travel in all sorts of different directions, and I just wanted you to get a little bit of experience seeing that. So type in a site, something maybe you use on a regular basis. You can figure out where those servers are located, and take a look at the map. See, does this make sense? If you were to get a flight from Fresno to whatever destination those servers happen to be in, is this the flight you would have taken? Would you have chosen to go that way? There's a prompt in the Week 12 folders to check it out, but the first part is, like I said, fairly quick. You're just typing in something, taking a look at a map to see the physical connections on the internet. The second part is a little bit different because we have these connections between computers, and because you can get information from anywhere, and anybody can send you information, whether that's through social media, through emails, which is how it used to be done. You'd get these emails with these bizarre news stories or things that just didn't seem right, didn't seem like they could be true. And that still happens. You see it on Facebook and Twitter, all sorts of social media places. You see stories that just don't seem right? They feel like they could be wrong. The idea is that back in the day, before we had the internet, there were gatekeepers, right? If you wanted to get a book published, you had to have a publisher publish that book, which meant that somebody had to look at the book, and if it were just filled with lies, they wouldn't publish it. We used to have gatekeepers on our information, and we can debate whether or not those gatekeepers were reliable. Did the news tell us what was actually happening, or did the news tell us what would make us feel happy and excited about America, right? Those are debates that you can definitely have. And in some ways, the internet is better because of that free flow of information. But it also changes the responsibility from those gatekeepers to you. You are now your own gatekeeper. And so when you get an email that says, the President of the United States was born in Kenya, is that true? Can you believe that, because it came through an email to your email address, or because you saw it on social media? And so there are lots of different ways of doing research, of being your own gatekeeper. One of the ones that's been around, I think, since the internet began is called Snopes.com. And that's the second part of the discussion, is to go out and check Snopes.com to look at some of the stories that are currently circulating right now on social media and through email, through various ways that people connect and communicate on the internet, and take a look at those stories. Are any of these something that maybe you've seen in the past? One of the nice things that Snopes does is they go out and they do the research, and then they can tell you, actually, this story is true, or this story is false, and here's why it's false. Sometimes you get mixed results. Oh, well, this is kind of true. And so there's lots of stories on there. Check them out, and just kind of know, oh, hey, this is a tool that I can use so that I can be a better gatekeeper of the information I get on the internet. So I know not to freak out because somebody says that McDonald's hamburgers are made with eyeballs. That happens to be a story going around right now. Or that I can look at something that says, hey, when hair care products are being sued because people say that it causes hair loss. Turns out that's kind of a mixed bag. Actually, Wynn is being sued for that reason, but we have no proof that it actually is true. And so check out Snopes. Become the gatekeeper of the information that you take in on a regular basis. And then lastly, PowerPoint Lab 1. If you are done with Excel, congratulations. Like I said a couple times now, you have done the hardest thing that we do all semester. PowerPoint will be a breath of fresh air. Enjoy the first lab. It will be hopefully a little bit quicker, a little bit easier than what you've been experiencing the last few weeks. So definitely take care of PowerPoint Lab 1. There's only 3 labs before our practical, and believe it or not, that will be the end of our labs and Microsoft Office units. This semester will come to a close here pretty quickly. So yeah, enjoy this last little stint. I saved some of the easiest stuff for last, so hopefully you enjoy the PowerPoint labs. And that's it. Have a great week. If you need anything, be sure to email me, brian.baker@fresnocitycollege.edu, and yeah, I will see you online. And as always, go Giants.